gentlemen, welcome back to the Emperor's Speech podcast. We are now slowly approaching episode 4. Today's episode we have two guests which we've went through quite the adventure together. Two individuals which quite as much made the Route 66 happen. Recently we embarked on a challenge, 3 Peaks challenge, which included climbing the mountains of England, Scotland and Wales. Let me get that correct. Today we have Anson and Cyril Priority. Some of you may know him as my little brother. How are you feeling, guys?
All right? Yeah, doing well, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, how's your day been so far? All good?
Busy, not bad. Yeah.
ചിലതൊക്കെ ഞാൻ കട്ട് ചെയ്യൂട്ടോ calibrate ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി.
ഞാൻ വേറൊരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഇത് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ആണോ മലയാളമാണോ?
It doesn't matter. We'll switch back and forth because like most of the people which are actually like watching, they're mixed between English and Malayalis.
Mixed group ആണല്ലേ? Mixed audience.
Yeah, mixed audience. The thing is, fantasy എന്ത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. You know what I mean?
കിട്ടുന്നല്ലേ ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ.
Hey, ഇല്ല. So let's go straight into it. Anson, Cyril, when I approached you guys with the Route 66, obviously Cyril was here for the previous challenge, and along with Dawn and Gio, which was meant to be here, but they couldn't make it due to their own reasons. Like I was saying, how has the Route 66 experience been for you guys?
I mean, I've been here since day one. I mean, you know, I didn't really have a choice, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole ride's been quite the journey. I mean, I say journey, it's only like 2 events.
It's because peer pressure from the big brother.
True, it is peer pressure from the big brother. So if you want your life to be something, just get a big brother.
Oh, is it? I don't think it's that easy though.
It is.
Like I was saying, what about you, Anson? You recently joined the Route 66.
Yeah, I mean, initially I heard about you guys doing the cycle challenge, wasn't it? So, yeah, I found it, you know, I saw the video and it was really interesting. And it felt like, you know, I wanted to be part of it. So, പിന്നെ previously ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ challenges ഒക്കെ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഞാൻ തന്നെ ചെയ്തൊന്നും വേറെ ആൾ കൂടെയും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ഗ്രൂപ്പായിട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു വേറൊരു ഫീലിംഗ് ആണ്. So, you know.
You did the London Marathon, I believe.
Yeah.
How was that?
It's very challenging. But yeah, I think the one regret was not doing as part of a group. Doing on your own and, you know, doing as a group, as we all experience, like നമ്മുടെ challenging ആയിട്ടുള്ള moments വരുന്നിട്ട്, you know, we lifted each other up, you know.
Yeah, of course.
പക്ഷെ തന്നെ ചെയ്യുന്ന നേരത്ത് that's a different experience, you know, self improvement, you know, self development എന്ന് പറയാം. പക്ഷെ this was, you know, it's a different type of challenge, so which was
teamwork was involved.
Yeah, definitely. It's like pushing one person when they're not, you know, when they're at the lowest.
When it comes to pushing, I'm sure me and Cyril could vouch for each other when we say that you pushed us to climb the second half of that whole mountain climb, the second mountain and the third mountain included. If it wasn't for your positivity, I'm pretty sure we would have somewhat been doing it a lot slower than we were meant to be doing. We would eventually complete it because me and Cyril, we just got this little ego that we don't like.
Yeah, I mean, we're just stubborn. We got it like once we start something, we don't really
end
it on a negative note.
Yeah, when we say we're going to do something, we'll do it. That's just how we've been raised, really.
That's it.
That hats off to our parents, you know what I mean? But like I say, we'll start from the first mountain, shall we?
Yeah.
Ben Nevis. How was Ben Nevis?
I found it the hardest because you guys were in your prime then. So as in, you were like, let's go. So I was obviously physically, I was the shortest of you two. So like 1 step for you is like 2 steps for me. So I always had to be on top, you know, really focused. Especially going up the mountain, I had to be always on the front rather than behind you guys. So I know I'm always keeping up with you, especially when you get to the top part of the mountain. Obviously, it's steeper and it was foggy as well, so it's hard to see. So if you don't keep, you know, track of where you're going, obviously you can fall behind. So I had to really push myself. I think especially the first mountain, and then obviously gradually, because of your injuries, unfortunately, which was kind of a blessing for me because
it was like, yes.
Because I could, you know, slow my pace down, you know, it is what it is. You
Yeah.
know, you take what you got. So.
Yeah, no, of course. So how was it for you, Ben Nevis?
Ben knows, actually, I saw exact opposite, but I guess from his story, you can guess why it was like that. I mean, I found it quite good, like quite a bit more easier than not easier, I'd say it would be the second hardest of all the ones I did.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't that hard for me, like, because it was the first one, and like, for my training, I didn't do like 1 or 2 hour endurances, but it was heavy and quite short, like all the trainings that I did.
So just for the viewers, what was your training like? Both of you. I'll let Anson go first.
Mine was pretty chill because I didn't expect I didn't really think about the sheer steepness of it. It only really kicked in when we did the killer mile.
Yeah.
Killer mile.
For you guys who are watching, the killer mile is basically the highest peak in the area of Stoke-on-Trent, Staffordshire. And it's literally 1 mile straight of a very 25% slope, I think.
Yeah, it's quite
And it is very steep, but we decided to do that 2 days before.
Yeah,
the
2
climb.
days before.
But yeah, as you were saying.
Yeah, so when we were doing that, I was like, oh, I think we might need a bit more practice. But then, everyone's busy, everyone's got, things to do afterwards. So you just have to hack it, go with what we got. So yeah, I was before that. I mean, I do work, walk to, work and backwards and back and forth, but nothing too steep.
Yeah.
So I was I was a bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I was honestly overwhelmed with like, oh, am I gonna make it? Especially with you two, like you were like on it. So I was like a bit, should have done a bit more practice. But then at the end of the day, you do what you can, one step at a time. I think that was our motto, wasn't it? Like throughout the 3 mountains, climbing 3 mountains.
Yeah, one step at a time.
One step at a time.
Exactly.
Just keeping that pace. It was all about that pace. And
that's the one. I think we had a different motto as well, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's not suitable.
I don't think it's suitable for the podcast. But what about yourself? What was your training like?
My training was easy. I mean, not easy, but it's like I'm working most of the days. So I'm working in the hospital. I'm studying as a adult nurse, so I'm final year. So I'm either working as a healthcare assistant in the hospital, or I was on placement as a student nurse. So on my breaks, I'd literally go out, and there's our hospital's 6 floors, including the 2 ground floors and the 3 upper floors. So I just literally climb all the stairs up and down until my break was finished, at which point I just go straight back. I do that 3 times a day at least, and then when it's I just kept doing that over and over. So that's why it was like short, but a bit more harder than most other endurances. But yeah, it prepared me somewhat, but you're never as prepared as you can be for things like that.
Similar to Cyril, my training regime was pretty much doing Stairmaster, because it's part of my coaching plan anyways. I was doing Stairmaster just like you, 30 minutes a day. And when I tell you that climbing mountains and climbing stairs is 2 different things.
Yeah,
don't ever think that you can hack a mountain doing stairs.
Stairs are even.
Yeah, stairs are even. You could predict how big your steps are going to be, but not with a mountain. Not with a mountain.
Doesn't include boulders.
It doesn't include boulders or steeper slopes. No. But yeah, no. From the training, tackling the first mountain. As you said, Ben Nevis was your favorite, just like Cyril. I could vouch for that. Ben Nevis was my favorite mountain as well, because we were in our full energy, no injuries.
Yeah.
But piped up, loads of adrenaline, and that also led to our injury. We'll get to that in a minute. But we faced a few challenges on the first mountain. What was the biggest challenge for you guys?
I think on the first mountain.
Yeah.
Okay, so the biggest challenge I'd say that I had on the first mountain was actually like, it's like, what do you say? It's like an optical illusion, that mountain. So it's like you climb one part, and then you think one thing's the peak, but that's not the peak. So then you go to the next one, and you see another peak, but that ain't the peak. And then you go through like 3 or 4 peaks until you actually get to the peak, at which point you're like, is this the peak? So like in the middle of that, and through actually at the start of it, Cybin had to go back a little bit to get something, and then
get you.
yeah, and because of that, it was just me, Anton, and Dawn. At which point,
Don't objectify Gio like that.
Hmm?
Don't objectify Gio like that.
No, but you came to, you went to get the drone as well, wasn't it?
So I did. No, I didn't. I went to.
No, but did you come back with the drone?
Yeah, because I had no choice. So.
But
so it's a filler. Like you guys will see in the actual full video. Gio's knee gave in, and he was unable to make it past the first 200 meters of the mountain. I had to go back to check on him. So we found out somewhere like on our first break. We looked back, we couldn't see Gio. Anson came up. He was about 2 minutes behind. So Anson came up. Anson was like, I couldn't see him anywhere. I tried to wait for him. I couldn't see him anywhere.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think I was like, you know what? I can't see him. Like you could see from down the slope that he was there. I mean, if he was there or not. And then a group of people came. We asked them, and they were like, we ain't seen somebody like that. And then.
So one of the, I think initially we thought it was a good thing, but then turned out to be a bad thing. Was we went our own pace.
Yeah.
Because you could go further, and obviously it took me like medium speed, but then Gio, it took a bit more time going up. So obviously the gap went wider and wider as we went up the hill, well, the mountain.
Yeah.
So as a result, like we didn't know where everyone was. The only thing we could really do was like either wait or go back and see where they went.
And that's when I had to make the decision of going back to make sure we check on him.
Yeah.
I didn't hold you guys back. I was like, you guys keep going forward.
No, of course. I mean, but as I was saying on that fact, the issue was, it's just because like you felt a bit more isolated because Anton was still coming up. Dawn was channeling ahead. And so everybody was like kind of alone. So that would be the hardest thing that was there.
Yeah.
But once we, halfway through, like up the mountain, we took a break. And then in that break, everybody caught up and became one.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Like that was quite a bit of relief actually seeing that.
Yeah. When I went down, I bumped into a guy which was walking quite in a fast pace. And like I was already 100 meters down. Yeah. And he said, I asked him, well, have you seen a guy by any chance when you walk past? And he was like, oh, he's about 200 meters behind. And I was just like, 200? Okay. I was like, I'm not going to let this beat me down. Let's go get him. And that's when I got to him. I eventually got to the corner. I did actually go about 230 meters or something. And then he was exhausted. Yeah. And I could tell that he's in a lot of pain. And that's when I was like, I can't risk this putting him in danger as well as potentially risk the whole challenge going down as well. And I had to make a decision at that point. And I asked him, I did try to push him, but he wasn't able to keep up pace. And likewise, I told him, try your best to keep up. But I'm going to have to go forward, otherwise they're going to be you guys are going to be waiting for me upstairs, up the mountain. And when I was going up, I got to a point where there was that junction. Yeah. And there was the don't go this way route, and there was a longer route, which looked like it was a lot safer.
I remember that,
And and then I had to use the hiking sticks. I put it as short as I can. It looked like little climbers at the end of it. And when I went up, there was like a river path. That's the only way you could walk. Otherwise, it was like all moss and like grassy and so on. I got past. There was not a fly walking that way. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I don't know if this is gonna get me anywhere, but I was just like, fingers crossed, it's gonna get me somewhere eventually. And then I get to the corner of a waterfall, and I see it joining up into the corner, and I see this guy with his GoPro go like. and then he sees something and he's like, Cybin?
The thing was, initially I was coming round and I was like, oh, look at that guy. He seems experienced. He looks like a pro, he honestly, you look like a pro, a mountaineer, like hiking his way through, up steep. And I was like, wait, wait, is that? Oh yeah, it's Cybin. Because I never expected you to go that way. You know, I
Yeah.
assumed you would, you know,
Take
like
the
run
same
it.
route we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would take the same route, but obviously like run it
Yeah,
or like
speed it
speed
up.
walk. But I never thought, you know, which makes sense. You know,
Yeah,
you had
not-
to kind of
Catch it,
you know,
like, take the sacrifice
yeah,
like that. Otherwise,
yeah.
otherwise we would have
Yeah.
been down.
Oh,
at the-
yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take us altogether? 6 hours, just under 6 hours.
Up and down,
Up
yeah,
and down,
I think,
yeah.
Mount Ben Nevis.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, and if I didn't go if I didn't go the short way, that would have easily hit 7.
Yeah.
Like, pretty easily. Like
Oh
that,
yeah.
that whole stretch, I looked, you know, the way we came down.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, there's no way I could have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gap, because it's uphill as well.
Yeah.
Downhill we can make it down faster, but uphill, yeah. But no, and then we got to the break, and then I broke the news to you that Gio's not going to make it.
Yeah.
And then we kept moving forward, but somewhere in between, the what do you call it? The actual pain of the journey started kicking in, and like everybody started slowing pace because it was also getting steeper, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The weather conditions was utterly terrible,
Yeah.
but it wasn't part of the like the weather wasn't even. We didn't expect sunny
Yeah.
weather. It's not like we were going to Spain or
Yeah.
Ibiza.
Yeah.
Like we were going on a mountain. We expected rain, and everybody's told me that I've asked that Ben Nevis expect bad weather in the
Yeah.
mornings, especially. We got there at like we got there an hour late as well than our expected time of arrival because of blessings, guys, blessings. That's what it was. And yeah, no, while we got to the third stop, I believe, after I rejoined with you guys, remember, like, we went past someone and then I just started speeding up. And then you guys assumed it was because I saw them. And I was like, it's not that. In my head, I was just there like, in Jesus' name, I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing which is going to stop me. And I was there like, I got God by my side.
Yeah.
Who told me that I couldn't do it? And I kept telling myself that. And then I started pushing forward slowly but surely. I started getting faster. But I started, like, the fatigue kind of disappeared in a sense. I was in awe when it happened. And then you guys were just like joking about. And I was like, look, I just want to let you know that.
Guys, he's trying to hide the fact that it was 2 girls in the front.
Try.
And I was like,
I think everyone got
come on, we get why he's fed up. And then,
So these guys were saying that it was because of the girls. I didn't acknowledge the girls. I was just going up. And, but the speed just stayed consistent. If it was for the girls, then it would have just been that stretch.
Yeah,
you know what
true.
I mean?
He did complete, like, he did
You did
like
speed up.
maintain that all
I think,
throughout.
yeah, you also had the break. Maybe, you know, you were tired from the big, you know, trying to go get Gio, and then you were tired and you had that break.
Yeah.
And then obviously reflecting on yourself, and then, you know,
and then
that just made
and
you
then I
go.
told you guys that's what I did.
Yeah, actually, like, that's the second one I think I've, like, faced there was, like, fatigue. Not even, like, I wasn't tired, like, not cardiovascularly tired, but, like, just muscles were just giving up, and I was just walking like a snail, just like slowly, like baby
just
stuff.
the brain pushing forward.
Yeah,
the body's
literally.
on autopilot.
Yeah, so that was one of the hardest parts. But actually, after Cybin said what he was doing, and then I started doing it as well, I was like, in Jesus' name, I can do it. Literally pushing forward like that, and then I was like at least I think 20 meters behind you guys.
Yeah.
After that, I finished first onto the peak when it came to it because I was pushing forward.
Walking past me, and I was like, "Did you do it too?"
You got it as well.
Yeah, wait, you got that too. And then we that was when we came up to the challenge that Cyril was on about.
Yeah.
And then we saw a peak, and we're like, "We're almost there." No, we're not.
Because we didn't know that were, like, near the top. I think so many distance there were like little stone hills.
Yeah, we didn't know.
We
that.
didn't realize that.
And then
back
and then
then.
we got to one peak and it wasn't the peak. We got to the next peak and there was still more to climb. And it was just endless.
Once
and
we
because
got
it was
there,
foggy, it was foggy as well.
It was foggy because
it was really foggy, so you couldn't properly see in front of you.
Yeah, maybe nearly 10 meters, like about 20 meters if we're looking.
20 meters if you can, yeah.
And
we didn't really believe we got to the top when we did we?
Yeah, we got to the top.
We only realised when we saw the thing there.
Yeah.
We had to look at the map, didn't we?
Yeah, we were like, this is the top.
This is the top.
Somehow there's 4G at the top of the mountain. I don't know. Like, we didn't see any towers, but there was 4G up there.
Yeah.
So, like, I could have used the map on my phone all this long. And but we got to the top, and it was really rewarding, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And then when we got to the top, the Dawn, myself, you two, we were at the top, and we were like freezing our tits off.
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely. It was so
it was
cold. Your
cold.
fingers were just, what do you say? They just
slowly
freeze
freezing up.
Yeah.
Frostbite catching
up.
on.
Yeah, it's not.
It was
yeah.
early morning, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
8
Yeah.
o'clock,
8,
9 o'clock.
Yeah, somewhere around 8, 9.
Yeah.
And yeah, when we were up there, we were like, obviously we were taking the videos of the completion. There's like a little mount where there's like the 3 peak sign and so on. And yeah, no, while we were taking the video, I also remember that bit where we were holding the flag up, and you'll see on the actual video being released, there's a moment where I go like, nothing is impossible in Jesus' name. And then like, obviously it's all completely fogged up,
So
and then,
fogged up.
and then like you can't see anything. And I'm shooting the second video, and in the second video, you could see that the whole, the foggy area and anything. Yeah, within 3 minutes, within 5 minutes.
Yeah, we were literally about to start walking
Yeah,
down, weren't we?
And then it cleared up, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was
Saw
like
the
this.
whole
You could
thing.
just see all of it just go.
Yeah, the whole of Ben Nevis, the mountains, all of it. You can see it left, right. There wasn't a point of that whole area you couldn't see. It was just cleared up. You wouldn't imagine that there was fog
Yeah.
5 minutes before.
No.
And when we took that drone shot, nobody imagined how incredible
Yeah,
that was
we
going to turn
just
out.
thought it was like.
Yeah.
But hey, shout out to our DJI controller. What do you say?
Yeah.
Dawn Pauly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Don Pauly is the guy behind those videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was also that was amazing. Like when we got to the top, wasn't it? And how did it feel for you?
I think in terms of scenery, that was the best mountain because the rest, we were either too tired or it was too cloudy.
Just trash.
Yeah.
The best view would have definitely been that though.
Yeah.
Because in terms of you could see the lake, you could see that the peaks,
The river.
Yeah, surrounding
the
peaks.
greenery, and it was all included. Like I don't
Like
think
a
you
little
could.
package.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't get better than the first mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was surprised with the little stone house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's very useful.
That was quite
actually.
surprising.
That was good,
yeah.
Because it makes sense, if you're tired, if it's raining,
Mhm.
you've got somewhere to
Or like in
shelter.
the winter, people climb
Blizzard
in the
or
winter.
something, It's
Yeah,
like.
blizzards are unexpected.
I mean,
as
it was
well.
that mountain we saw snow, right? Or was it?
Oh yeah,
there was
it
snow.
We walked past it and there was
Snowed.
snow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not great snow. I tried throwing
Tried
it, but it's
snow.
like more ice than snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, that was the first mountain, and that was where we were walking back, and I decided, well, obviously I was taking lead, and I decided to influence my beloved colleagues by running down the mountain to make up time. Terrible mistake. Don't ever run down a mountain
Don't run down.
unless
mountains.
you're experienced in doing so.
Even then, don't
Especially
run
if you have
down mountains.
boulders.
If you have
Boulders.
boulders, yeah.
Well, so what happened was while we were running down, myself, Cyril obviously followed my lead. Dawn also followed the lead. Anson has a lot more experience in this running game, so he decided to
Just
take it
pace.
slow and keep it easy. And while we were running down, we kept twisting our ankles, but we got ankles of steel from
Ankles were fine.
athletic history. But all the shock was going to our knees.
Yeah.
We didn't realize
Just
that.
propagates up, guys. You
Yeah.
don't only have one joint in your lower body; you have many.
And
It,
yeah, when we got to the very bottom, Dawn got there first, and Anson followed. All of us got there pretty much like 1
I
minute.
still
gap.
don't know how he managed that.
Yeah, no. And
He was like a rocket.
yeah,
Especially near the end of it. He was
Yeah,
like,
he
he
just
was
zoomed through.
zoomed out. Yeah.
And then we completed that in like I said, just under 6 hours, and that we didn't clock it then. There was a lot of adrenaline. We went and go have some food, and then straight after the food, I'm driving down again to Lake District, and I feel like my knees getting stiffer. The hardest part I thought of the whole challenge was definitely getting out of the cars.
Yeah.
Getting out of the cars, like stretching your knees out, was more difficult than climbing the mountains itself. Personally,
Oh yeah.
Personally.
I agree.
like, and then when you're getting out of that comfort, you know what I mean, that was the one bit.
yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, but then after we got to Lake District, and then when we got to Lake District, and I stretched my leg out, and then I felt the strain on my left side of my knee, and I was like, ooh, this don't feel right. And then like Cyril also felt the same pain.
No, but mine was like a minor one. I was like just a thought in the back of the head. It just went away when I started walking for me though.
And then we started climbing scaffold, and that's when it started kicking in a bit more. That shows don't do things too quickly. Take your time, be patient. That's an advice.
Army moilde story.
Yeah, like literally the hare and the tortoise. Like army moilde story all that. Anson, Adasanam, യാതൊരു കുഴപ്പമില്ലാണ്ട് പുറത്തേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങി ഓടി ഞങ്ങളോ.
Oh, bro, my knees. My knee still hurt, guy. So don't run down mountains. Not right now, but like if I've run for a long time, I get that same pain back. So I'm sure it's permanently damaged.
But yeah, no. So second mountain came through. What did you enjoy about the second mountain?
Nothing. It's AIDS. Don't climb Scaffold Peak. It is a scam. Yeah. Just skip it. Go to the other two beautiful mountains. They're great.
He's not even wrong. Scaffold Pike is the shortest mountain of all of them, by the way. Yeah, the shortest.
It ended quickly.
The shortest mountain of all of them.
That's it. It ended quickly, guys. That's the best thing you can do about Scaffold Pike. The second place we went.
Yeah, so we assumed that it was going to be the easiest mountain because
it's short, isn't it?
Something, 809 meters. And obviously we did all the calculations before that, and we were like, oh, it's also meant to be done in 3 hours. And I was just like, oh, simple. 1 hour, 2 hours up, 1 hour down, not that deep. And then we got to it, and obviously with the existing injury, I was like, okay, this shouldn't be too deep. Oh yeah, we missed a crucial part. We had food poisoning.
Oh yes, guys. So somehow, because of something we ate, we all had food poisoning.
Or something they drank.
Or drank. Could have been drank.
We're still not sure.
We're still debating on what it could have been. It could have been anything, guys.
There's no specific investigation which could go behind it.
No, it's too late to check now. So,
but like I said, when it came to the actual mountain climb itself, because of the food poisoning and so on, and the injury that Dawn also had, he didn't manage to make it to the second mountain. And thereafter, we started climbing scaffold, and it looked a bit steeper than we thought. And we nodded it off, but my knees started giving in between, and I was like, I'm not going to let this go. I have too many people which think I'm going to fail. Why would I let that happen? Why would I let anybody laugh at my failure? Do you know what I mean? That's when my ego kicked in, and I was like, but I didn't tell you guys, because if I did, it would have knocked down your confidence. So in a sense, like
Well, I noticed, the pacing compared to the first mountain.
It
was
slower,
like we were taking more breaks. We were taking our time, making sure we didn't have any more accidents. Obviously, twisting angles, things like that. So, but it's all about that push, isn't it? And I think you were more than ready. I think anyway, and it's just.
Don't do silly things, running down mountains.
Well, but still, it was impressive. You guys still managed to finish it, even though you were in pain. And
definitely.
You had all that injury. It took us more time than we expected, but still, it's
but I just
overcoming
after that first break, I just knocked the knee sleeve on, and I was like, let's get it. Who's going to carry the boats?
Exactly.
David Goggins.
You ain't know me, son.
You don't know me, son. You don't know me. Wait, where did we see it?
Oh, was it? I think it was.
What's this?
Oh, it's with Jose.
You mean Allah?
No, it's Jose.
It's Jose. You don't know me, son.
Shout out to Jose Anthony, pro photographer, just so you know. And he's so it was pretty much like that moment, and I was like, I got to keep pushing. I got to.
Yeah, I mean, we did feel like we were walking with our like grandma, literally. Just me and Anson in front. We're walking up. We're like, where is he? He'll get here, Cyril. Okay.
It was like one
the
step,
break.
one
We
step,
break.
one step.
Yeah.
We break, and then he gets there, and we
Yeah.
break
Yeah,
a bit
He's
more.
like, go, you go, you go.
Yeah, I was just there in the back, like I got to push these guys forward, even if I'm behind. Like,
Yeah.
but then they weren't having it either, so I was just like, okay, I got to just keep up on it. I couldn't bend my knees at
Yeah.
that point. Like, as in my left knee, I couldn't bend it at all. I was like, I got to keep pushing forward because there's no way that I could convince you guys to just go without me. So I was like, okay, I got to just keep up. And then I did, obviously, and we got to several interesting parts in Scaffold Pike where it was just a massive boulder, wasn't it? Remember that towards the end of Scaffold Pike?
Yeah,
It's just one straight marble
and
piece.
they
Straight
cut
marble.
it
Yeah.
to cut some grooves. Yeah,
Yeah, and then we got to the peak. There was lots of rocks.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the
As
most
peaks do.
rockiest.
Guys, you won't find one peak in the UK which doesn't have rocks. So that's why I said as you do.
And that's the most rockiest, I think.
Yeah,
And,
It was quite
was-
rocky.
It was like
Five
all
are
the
more rocky
steps.
than the rest.
There was literally no grass. The only like grassy area was near the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Everywhere
where the
else,
sheep's
well,
grazed, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
at that point we just got sick of stumbling on rocks. We're just like, ugh.
I think
It's
that
that
you
mental aspect, isn't it?
Yeah,
You're
it's
just
that
like-
frustration
Yeah,
you have. You're
frustration.
like,
Yeah.
you're looking for landmarks which are quite like, that you recognize. But the problem was we came up one route and we went down, like half of it we went down the same route, then we went on to another route
Yeah.
the way we went down.
Yeah.
So we set ourselves up to actually get frustrated because
Yeah.
of course we wouldn't recognize the landmarks because we didn't see those before.
Yeah, and we got to the peak of Scaffold, and that was amazing. It was like lights.
Peak was good. Like
It was windy though. The
it
wind
was
was
very
catching on.
windy.
Yeah,
It was
almost.
very-
We sat in. There was a house there as well, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
but we almost lost the flag.
Yes, that was that was funny.
Yeah.
Like I think what happened? Who held it?
It was you two.
Yeah. No, which
What?
side went?
Did we?
One of us
It
actually.
didn't fully.
No,
go,
it was
did
the bottom bit which flew up. You
Oh
guys-
yeah.
So
that
we were
had to catch
holding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that was pretty sick. Like,
That would have been a major
getting
setback,
down,
guys.
Getting down from it took us 5 hours getting down from Scaffold altogether, and
Yeah, up and down.
I think it's
yeah.
because like the rock, like it was like pebbly, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
so
we
it was
kept
pebbly
sliding.
and
We
wet.
kept sliding each time we put your.
Yeah,
put
So
the
you
st-
couldn't like properly like fast walker.
have
You
a
had to.
standard pace.
It was more skiing.
Yeah, you had
rather-
to feel your ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we
There's a lot of moss as well.
since we learned from the first mountain, we decided not to
Run
around.
it.
There
Well,
was a
could you actually run it though?
If you wanted to, you couldn't run it. So
there was, like, Cyril said something just earlier. There was a lot of moss. I think
There
Cyril has
was
a
a lot of
personal
moss.
experience.
Yeah.
with-
hey,
I was-
the
I was-
moss, even though the
Fresh
moss,
moss.
Posh. Yeah, that's what I thought.
fresh moss.
Fresh moss.
It was
Fresh moss.
nice
yeah.
moss, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to tread on. It's
Good
quite good.
Good experience.
Are you going to give them the honest story or?
Hey, it's good moss. It's good moss.
Tell them the coordinate explanation, man.
Yeah, there's no need for too much detail.
Good
But,
moss, man.
When you,
These guys like the moss as well.
well,
That's
no, we didn't need the moss.
You didn't need the moss.
No, it was just you.
These guys
It was
tripping,
just
man.
you.
It's a good moss.
But so like we completed Scaffold Pike, and then when I got to the bottom, that was when that was pretty fun.
It got dark as well.
Wait,
so
Anson,
that
did
was
you-
another one.
Did you like support him at one point, or
Support.
No.
what was I thinking? No, I went forward, and these guys are walking together. That's why.
Yeah. No, I didn't have to support me.
Yeah.
I had the sticks.
He had the six to support him.
The sticks to support him. Funny that.
Sticks are quite good. I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't
Oh, yeah,
recommend
it
you
really
going
came
without
in.
sticks.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
going to do a mountain, get those mounting sticks. I know you look a bit odd. You look like you're a geriatric, but trust me, like your legs will thank you for it.
Yeah.
Like
Especially going down. I found it so much
more
more
useful.
beneficial going down
Because like the slips and turns.
because of the pebbles. Like you
I'm pretty
kept
sure each
sliding.
and every one of us slipped at one point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it saves you like so much.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm pretty sure I would have fell off of one of those at some points.
This guy was getting too close to the edge, and I was just like,
Yeah,
you know, it's
as
nighttime.
big brother instincts, you know.
Yeah,
So
obviously. I have to get home with this guy. My mum and dad killed me. I'll probably forget him.
I told this guy that worst comes to worst, we get a free ride on a helicopter, guys. So there's always that.
Not so fun when there's a bag and you're spinning around with the helicopter. We'll get the helicopter ride, not you. But yeah, no, scaffold was done, and then by that point I was in enough pain to understand that, look, if I try to attempt the same thing that I did for the next one, I'm not gonna make it up. There was thoughts in my mind where I was like, I can't do it. But,
did you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Really? It didn't come across.
For you?
No, for you, like the fact that you
He's like, Anson just casually flexing. Well, it never crossed my mind because I'm an alpha.
In my blood, quitting isn't a choice.
It's not happening.
That's
it's not
just
happening.
Anson.
It's not happening.
But no, like throughout that last car journey, I was just there like, plus I was on 2.5 hours of sleep.
Oh yeah, I don't know what was up with this guy. I told him that I drive, but he just wasn't having it.
I shall personally release videos of these two sleeping in the car.
Yeah, but that's because I had nothing to do. Like literally, because I slept quite good. I said I drive. It's fine.
Yeah.
But hey.
But no, like shout out to Tenin and Ebby. These two blessed us differently with the whole journey itself. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been able to meet the criteria of the 24 hours in general. Definitely. And like I was saying, so I had to get some sleep in between, and I was like, don't just sit in the front. By then, Gio and Ebby had already departed. I just need to get some sleep somehow. Because sitting in the front, you move about too much.
Yeah.
So you can't really get proper sleep.
Light as well.
Yeah, and I'm not a deer.
Yeah.
But yeah, sitting in the back, you're a lot more compressed. So like,
true. Yeah, actually.
Oh yeah, definitely compressed.
Hey, you'll see in the videos.
I think that was the worst ride for me because we had two guys, and I'm like, I couldn't even move my legs. I was literally getting cramps.
Well, see, the thing is, 2 lads with injuries, and then you.
I'm trying to push around.
That became our permanent sitting pattern now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
where we go, Anson's in the middle.
It's the
Ant sandwich.
It's the Ant sandwich, guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, no, like when we got to the service station, I literally told Cyril, like, we're gonna load up on painkillers because I'm not gonna.
We didn't load up. I'm gonna be a registered nurse. Okay, we what do you say? Intelligently loaded up.
Yeah.
Medications. Okay. Don't do drugs, kids. Okay. So, ibuprofen and paracetamol. That's all we did.
Yeah.
Nothing too special.
Yeah, popping pills before a mountain climb. That's the way to do it, lads.
Yeah, I think we had one. I think we had one when we were at the gas station after we ate food, and then another set once we got there.
There's a clip of us walking like it was zombies in the service station. I think Dawn sent us that, and you can just see that. Us three was just on autopilot.
Yeah.
We were just walking like we had.
No, we had cold food.
Yeah.
We had cold food, guys. You know how depressing that was? You should have seen this guy's face.
I think that was the lowest point in that journey. because
him just sadly eating a chicken sandwich.
Because the thing is, like, when you're climbing one mountain, and you're always looking for the next that exciting part, which was getting a hot meal. And definitely after climbing the first mountain, we went McDonald's, got some hot meal. So after the second one, your mind is, looking forward to that warm meal. And this guy drops us off, service station and says, oh yeah, everything's closed, by the way. Oh yeah.
We didn't call it. We called it. Yeah, I literally said, I don't think service station's gonna have Burger King open at 3 a.m. in the morning. I told them, and then they had the hope. I'm not gonna destroy the hope, obviously, and only to be destroyed by themselves.
I mean, you should have just destroyed it before
anticipated. No, I did tell you guys.
Oh, did you?
I did tell you guys.
You didn't clock it.
I think you guys were too excited for the hot food.
Oh.
And
don't lose hope, guys.
Never lose hope.
Never lose hope.
And we got to after doing the drugs.
The drugs. Yes.
We slept somehow. and we closed our eyes
Two
and
too
woke
short,
up at Snowdon.
Yeah.
And
I was like, don't worry, bro.
yeah, and I remember getting out and I was like, oh, it's like all my pain is gone. I was like, this is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Drugs.
As long as it's gone for the the time being.
Yeah, the time being, I was like, let's get going, and then I was like, we need to start going before it wears off. And Snowdon was slow and steady, but was enjoyable.
Actually enjoyable. The mountain I enjoyed the most would have probably been Snowdon.
Yeah.
Just because how good the pace was. It's just like a gentle. It's just like a gentle ride up. You know what I mean?
Gentle ride up, yeah. Climbing a mountain felt like a gentle ride up.
Yeah, that one.
I think it was more steadier pace
steadier
rather
pace,
than
yeah.
like very steep and then.
But then again, halfway,
compared to
I think
other
3/4 way up, then it became really steep.
Yes.
But then you
Yeah.
had that hope that, we're almost at the end. And then once you get to the top, you could kind of see, you couldn't see anything. It was
I think there
fog
was
again.
breaks one. There was steep slope and then bit of flat-ish ground and then
Flattish, yeah.
steep again.
But
so-
Snowdon had the steepest slope of all of them.
It
right?
did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You could feel it like
Easily
it was in the
35, 40.
midpoint.
And you could feel that your feet were just literally on a certain angle.
Yeah.
And like
If it wasn't for those sticks, I would have.
yeah, we would have easily slipped back.
Yeah.
But I was just imagining if anybody accidentally rolls, they're not stopping till they get to the bottom.
Yeah.
Do you remember that guy that was sprinting across with the tattoos?
Yeah.
There's some madman
We were
running
like,
up.
oh,
I mean, talking about people which are out of their minds. Like we've got a guy called Reggie. He's
Shout out
doing
to Reggie.
Shout out to Reggie. He's doing the 3 peaks that we did, but he's doing it the other way around, and he's cycling the gaps that we drove,
Yeah.
and then running it. He's aiming to complete it.
40 hours.
40 hours. So big up to him and good luck to him. I'm sure he could do it, but that's why I was like, when people were telling me this is like David Goggins shit. Like,
No. He's
hyping it up.
David Goggins.
That guy
man.
is doing David Goggins shit.
We're David Robbins or something, you know what I mean?
We're David Goggins from Wish. That's what we are.
That's it, bro.
But from there onwards, we got to the top of Snowdon. I guess Snowdon was a bit miserable because it was like
Yeah.
It was
no,
foggy.
It was visually it was a bit miserable. Like the journey was amazing because you could see everything while we went up, but when we got to the top, there was nothing to see because of how foggy it was, and I remember it was clashing emotions because we completed the challenge now,
Yeah.
and we looked at the time and it was like 26 hours, and we were like, well, we've still got to peak on the 26th hour, but all in all, we got back down in an hour and a half or something. Two
Yeah,
hours.
that was.
Yeah.
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 It's quite short. Like, it was actually quite easy to get down.
Yeah, and
Easier.
yeah, remember the meal after.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, hot meal.
hot meal. I had a fry up. That was buonissimo.
And it's just changing out of the wet because it started raining
Yeah,
as well,
we
wasn't
changed
it?
out
It was
of the wet
literally
clothes.
Yeah.
soaking like my socks, like literally.
Yeah.
The shoes were all wet, so it was just getting out of that, having a hot meal, just because we didn't really have a hot meal, only McDonald's,
No,
wasn't it?
no.
So,
After
we had
McDonald's, we didn't have a hot
two
meal.
hot meals throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
yeah, that was crazy.
Now that was the hard part, guys, not the mountains.
So after, so in my personal experience,
Yeah.
the best bit about that whole journey was definitely having Anson as a part of it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Thank
He was like a
Thank-
positive
thank
ray
you
of
for that.
sunshine, guys. If you want to do a difficult thing, get a positive friend.
Yeah.
So guys, 2 things you need in life. Good big brother and positive friends. That's all you need.
ഞാനിത് പേ ഒന്നും ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ആരുടെയും പേ
But the thing is, we were in our own minds, and we were going down the mountain, and he was just like a walking radio, just bringing positive vibes out. And he just keeps talking, and it was just such good vibes that he just gave out.
Yeah.
So we couldn't, obviously we're frustrated from the climb itself, and we're in our heads, we're just there processing. Oh wow, he comes up with some interesting stuff as well. I don't know how he did it, but I guess like because we were going on a slow pace.
Yeah, I think it was helping me as well because you kind of forget about the pain of walking, and you just think
And no hot
about
meals.
it's just talking, and you just go on autopilot, don't you? So
Yeah.
and I've done that. Doing marathon, you do the same, but to yourself, you kind of go out of your zone and just think about random things and just move on and don't remember. You just you try and forget the pain.
Yeah.
So I think in a way I was trying to do that for you guys, trying to let you.
So would you say that's how you handled getting over the pain for the journey itself?
Oh yeah, like throughout my life, obviously I find kind of ignoring the pain as a way of moving forward, which can be a negative thing, but in this incident it was a positive thing because forgetting the pain, you kind of move forward. Because thinking more about the pain, you kind of slow down. Whereas when we were talking about random stuff, some bizarre stuff, you forget the pain. So I think sometimes we were walking faster as well.
Yeah.
Because we didn't think about the pain.
In a sense of what you're saying, I don't think we were trying to forget the pain. I think what you were doing was more or less approaching the pain more than like, and accepting that it's active, but
it's
a
there.
way of overcoming this.
Yeah.
Instead of also drowning in the misery of that pain.
Yeah.
You decided to just talk, and talking helps, guys. And if you're in pain,
# mental health.
yeah, # mental health. Like
See a therapist, guys.
At the end of the day, like,
And here's a plug for.
just put it out there. There's not a shout out, but no, mental health needs to be taken seriously in every sense. And especially in this case, like we were in physical pain, not mental pain.
Yeah.
We knew mentally we could do it, but physically our bodies were just giving in. But it was the mindset which kept pushing us forward.
Oh yeah.
And knowing that all those, like I said, all the people which expects us to finish it successfully and expects us to fail it also pushed with it. Not just the people which said, oh, how are you going to do that in that time?
Yeah, because there was certain accountability, isn't it? We said we'll do this.
Integrity.
Everyone's given us money towards charity, so we had
I was going to say, when you said just money, I was like...
Towards charity.
Towards charity.
Towards charity. So, we had to do it, either way. So, yeah, I think that was a big, motivator, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, the biggest, like I said, the biggest motivator for us was obviously you talking and making sure we got through it, and like, in a way, it's a thanks as well.
Thank you for that,
without that,
You're
and like...
But I think I think if you didn't have the injury, what would you? I think you probably would run all of them, wouldn't you?
I would run.
I was thinking that. I was thinking, what if you didn't, get injured in the first, downhill?
And at the end of the day,
You
the objective is to get down as quick as possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Because
of course,
speed was our main objective for the first mountain, and then
and
suddenly it just came. That was the least.
See, we came up across a lot of obstacles after the first mountain. Obviously, the food poisoning, injury.
big one we forgot to mention, guys: traffic.
Traffic
Is the biggest enemy of Three Peaks Challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, I think most of our time was lost with traffic and sheep. I hate those sheep.
The sheep between
It was weekend, wasn't it, as well? So you got that traffic. Weekend traffic.
That
So
was
weekend traffic. I think in between Ben Nevis and Scaffold, so that's the first and second ones we did, we had this huge section of the A roads just closed off, and they had no signs whatsoever to tell us which route to take. So we had to go literally just test and find out which one. So we came and went back, and then finally we got to a route, but that set us back quite a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And it wasn't on Waze, it wasn't on Google Maps,
No.
it wasn't on anywhere.
Nobody knew it existed. So
Yeah, we somehow found a route eventually. But no, actually, we started following the diversion signs and we got there eventually. But it wasn't an obvious diversion
it was
sign.
literally just
Black dot.
a black dot, and you just like,
Follow the black dot.
farther back.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's something for highways. Was it Wales?
Highway maintenance. No, Wales, allada. It's the UK one because we came to the UK territory by then.
Yeah.
So all highway maintenance. Screw you guys, man.
Is it highway?
Yeah, because it was the what was it? Peak District, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just before
Lake District.
Oh, Lake,
yeah.
not Peak. Lake.
I was gonna say, I was the
Lake District.
District. Yeah.
No, but we left Scotland. I know that once after this and before this.
Yeah. But I don't know. No, that was a challenge. I mean, the next step is literally going to hand over the charity money. Those who have donated, you will all receive a special package which includes both a video of the handover itself. It's not going to be published publicly because we're not we're not doing this because we want to show that we're philanthropists.
But come on, we need to make sure that you know that we just give it over.
We need to make sure the people which did donate know where their money went. And just wait patiently as it only closes on January. If you do still want to donate, make sure you reach out to me, and I'll deal with your money in special ways. But either way, other than that, we recently went to Portugal together as well.
Yep.
Or as Dawn says it, Portugal.
Portugal.
The adventure continues.
Yes. And we went after the climb itself. I think this was our actual first celebration.
Yeah. I mean, 3 of us, but still.
I mean, there will be a bigger one.
Yeah.
After the climb itself, I've had a few people reach out to me, in order to join Route 66. What's the procedure and so on? I was like, interesting, because there isn't a procedure. All you need is a mindset. That's all it is.
Guys.
If you could tackle a mountain or if you could tackle a challenge, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as you could go through a challenge and come out alive.
And also vibes. Please don't make us drag you. Please don't make us drag you.
Yeah, because that's
Anson fit perfectly because he's just positive. He's not trying to weigh us down.
Yeah.
This is what we're looking for, okay, guys?
Am I the specimen?
This is the example that we want, okay?
It's gonna be hard to beat, you know.
Exactly. It's going to be hard to beat.
I don't know.
Like my guy did set a very high standard. So if you are watching,
So, guys.
Yeah, no, likewise, if you do want to join, just holler at me and we can see the next procedure. We have challenges coming up in the next few years, multiple different challenges, and we might be doing it as a little community thing now because the numbers are slowly going up, and it might be more than just challenges. It might also be barbecues and so on. We'll see where it takes us. Actually, that's the Route 66. Obviously, if Gio and Dawn was here as well, they would have had plenty to say themselves. But yeah, I've given them a task as well to complete the journey in their own time because integrity, innit? You know what I mean?
Integrity.
Okay guys, Bedner's base guys. Yes guys, Anson, Cyril, Gio, Don, drivers, Epi and Kunja, which made us get here on time. Thank you guys. 5:30 in the morning. Let's go to the peak. Let's go.
So, from this challenge that we've done, what would you guys say you learned from the challenge, and a certain advice that you could give to individuals which are going through challenges in their own lives? What's an advice that you give?
So, personally, I think the best thing would be just keep moving, because it's, life isn't made of winners or losers. It's those who keep moving and those who give up. That's what life is, So just because something's challenging right now, if you give up, you've already lost, But if you're willing to fight, then that's when you win. That's my personal opinion.
What about yourself, Anson?
Personally, yeah, നമ്മുടെ വലിയ motto, നമ്മൾ injured when we got injured, the thing that kept us going was obviously faith was a big thing. But another thing was just that one step at a time, or a step go from there. You know, the first step in 1,000 step is always the hardest. So our mentality, we kept drilling on that, isn't it? Just keep going, keep going. Another thing was like allowed in life. I think personally, like always have someone to talk to. Like I think when we did as a group, because you know, even though we had injuries, because we were in a group, you know, we were talking, we were, you know, communicating, and we were expressing what we felt and not like keeping within ourselves. That really, I think, helped each other in different ways. And another thing is taking your time. You know, everyone has their own pace, especially, you know, the first mountain we climbed. Everyone, even when we were training, you know, 2 days before, initially I tried to keep at your pace. Remember when we did the practice, I tried running at your own pace, your own pace, but like, you know, and then that didn't work. I got tired very quickly, and I was like, I got very not frustrated, but like, oh no, am I gonna, you know, finish this challenge because I can't catch up with you guys?
Yeah.
But then I think when we took the break during the practice round, I said, this isn't my pace. I need to go at my pace, and I know what my pace is from doing the London Marathon. And then by changing that, it really changed my point of view. Like, actually, I can do this because I know my pace. I know, you know, you guys, you know, looking at your physiques, you can go faster, but then I can go. I know I have stamina as well, so I can go my pace, but still catch up with you guys between the points. And like, it's the same with in life. You know, people around you, you kind of fall into that depression mode where you start comparing each other. You know, oh, I'm slowing down, I'm speeding up. And sometimes it's always good to think, you know, where did you start? You might have not started where others have started. You might have started where others
everybody's in their
behind,
time.
or you might have started forward. So it's kind of self-reflection at the same time.
I've heard this quote actually, which is very similar to what you've said. Not this quote, this on an interview somewhere. I don't know where it was specifically, but it was everybody has their own timeline. So somebody which is 25 might graduate, have a job by 30.
Oh, it's Jay Shetty.
Yeah, it was a Jay Shetty. Yeah, but somebody might graduate at 50, and then have a completely successful running business by 60, and then this 25-year-old, which is graduated way earlier, may die by 35. So everybody, and like this 50-year-old might live till 90. Yeah, it's not exactly the same way that Jay Shetty said it, but no, it brings quite the insight if you think about it, because there's no need to rush. Just stay at your own pace.
It's not about rushing. It's knowing your own. Everyone's got their own obstacles.
Yeah.
So it's knowing what your obstacle is. Like in my life, near the start, I didn't know what my obstacles are. Everyone's got their own. Even, you know, the best person, even Jay Shetty or, you know, someone like that, they've got their own obstacles, and it's it's them knowing what their obstacles is like.
Yeah.
And then changing that. Otherwise, you'll keep going in circles. You'll keep making that same mistake.
Self-reflection is necessary.
Yeah. They say like first identify and then rectify. So if you don't identify what it is, you'll just keep making the same mistake but differently.
Oh yeah,
if that makes sense.
No. Of course.
Yeah.
Find new ways to make the same mistake.
Oh yeah, trust me, you will. You will.
Yeah, no, but yeah, so interesting perspectives from both of you. In my personal opinion, it would be learn from your mistakes, because we made plenty of mistakes throughout it. But even if you make a mistake, it's not the end. Just keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
And even if you face an obstacle, don't stop. Keep pushing forward, because we had plenty of obstacles to go through.
Oh yeah.
For all we know, when I went back for Geo, I could have just slowed down and just not came up. You know, I could have quit, but it's just when I had the pain, when we had the pain, could have stopped. Could have stopped it right there. But it's just keep going forward, keep pushing forward, guys. That's
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Nothing is impossible with God by your side. And that's one thing that I experienced personally throughout this whole journey. Also, it wasn't just a mountain climb for me. It was also a bit of a spiritual journey in a sense. The climb itself taught me many things. The journey itself taught me the severe value of friendship, and in a sense, like how far people would go. So Ebby and Tenin, they had no need to be there.
No,
as in like
they
had no benefit from taking us all that journey, like that whole journey. No, but that was from love, the love that they have for us.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And if it wasn't for them guys, this would have been so much more difficult for us.
Definitely, yeah.
And it lifted a whole different weight off our shoulders when they decided to voluntarily do this for us. And great things. Just like that, a lot of lessons were learned from this whole journey itself. Don't eat food that you're not meant to eat. I think,
or drink water that you're not meant to
drink water that
Drink water.
Hey guys.
You just don't know what you're coming up across, do you?
No.
But
also, big thanks to Kishore Angle for the food. It's
so we have to be talking about food poisoning, bro.
so that's why it was perfect there. That's why I put it there.
But you
There's
don't know.
need to
We don't know.
We don't know. That's why I said great thanks.
Oh, great thanks to Ben Nevis's water.
Great. There you go, guys. Now you know. No, all I said, because they welcomed us to the home and gave us good food. That's what I was trying to emphasize. Not that. You guys are looking at it through a different lens.
Big thanks, Uncle Ali Sako, for giving us food too.
Yes. That's shariya.
Yeah.
But they didn't give everybody food.
Angamali family.
Service station. Thanks to McDonald's.
Yeah, but we paid for that. This guy, man.
Understandably, yeah. Big shout out to Dawn's family, which served us food for free of cost and welcomed us.
Shall we try that again, guys?
We'll just leave it. We'll just leave that.
No cuts. No cuts.
No, so that was it. So your advice to the people, well, actually my advice for the people which are going through challenges in their everyday lives, there's a rough way of looking at it, and there's an understanding way of looking at it. You're not the only person which is going through shit at the end of the day, and please don't make it about yourself, but don't let that stop you from reaching out for help. At the same time, be kind to yourself to understand if there's a problem big enough restricting you from moving forward. Make sure you find and identify the problem, and then you approach and face the problem, because running away from the problem will only get you further away from the solution than actually facing. It goes with fears, it goes with everything in life, and yeah, I'd say that's the best way I could put it or articulate it in my current state. But yeah, that's my opinion.
We care about his opinion as well.
Sounded a bit sarcastic there, mate.
But the whole experience, even though it was tough, we learned a lot. We enjoyed it, and it's a good experience. At the end of the day, everything's it's
I'd recommend everybody do 3 peaks.
Go through hell just like we did.
Go for it.
Yeah. See, when we say 3 peak challenges, like when we
Or
say
at least do 1 peak. Come on, guys.
Yeah. The thing is, in people's minds, they think Mount Everest, and they think that's 8,000 meters. Or I don't know if that's accurate actually, but that's very tall. And if it's 1,000 meters, anyone could do it. That's what they think. And it's from the people which have climbed it themselves personally. I think they have the right to talk. If you haven't climbed it, don't assume it's easy, because when you do come across it, it's quite enjoyable nonetheless. So I would advise people which are going to do 3 peaks, attempt one of them first, or go blindly like we did and just
And then
don't quit till
injure your
then.
knees.
Yeah.
Always expect the unexpected.
Always
Yeah.
expect the
Always.
unexpected, especially when it comes to challenges in general.
നമ്മൾ ആക്ച്വലി പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ഇങ്ങനെ
Yeah, we actually planned it quite a bit, and
പ്ലാൻ
then this
ചെയ്തിട്ടും
happened.
there was problems.
Yeah.
And it's same with any trip.
Yeah.
എപ്പോഴും something ഉണ്ടാവും, but it's all about, you know,
Dealing.
accepting it and then
Would
overcoming it.
would the 18-year-old versions of you think that you would do something like this?
18 is 4 years ago.
Oh, quick maths.
Quick maths, guys. 18 is 4 years ago for me. So,
So Cyril's 22, guys. If you didn't
quick
know.
maths. He's also good at
Anson,
maths,
are you still
guys.
counting?
നമ്മൾ age ഇങ്ങനെ പറയണം.
Anson is also
Age is
22,
just a
guys.
number.
So don't worry.
Age is just a number. Yeah.
Well, don't count the fence now.
But yeah, carry.
Oh, he's the second person to say age. Just a number on this. It's a running theme, guys.
Nonsense onto this podcast.
Just knows
But
the
yeah, carry
number.
on. Like you said.
I mean, the thing is, before this, last Guardian, I think Duke of Edinburgh, wasn't it? Yeah. And I never thought I would do something like this again. But I think that the reason I did it was because it was a group.
Yeah.
If it was an individual, I wouldn't do something like this again, or like a marathon or anything like that. Again, if it was by myself, I only did it because it was a group, because it's a different vibe. It's a different, it's more enjoyable. For me, the other challenges were always about, doing that challenge, because like, എനിക്ക് വേണ്ടി എൻ്റെ ഒരു ആസ്പെക്റ്റ് അത് ഓവർകം ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയാണ് ഞാൻ അത് ചെയ്തത്. അപ്പോൾ I've overcome that. You can never always fully overcome it, but yeah, I've overcome it. So I didn't really had to do this, but the fact that you guys were doing as a group, as part of like a family, part of a team.
Aww.
So it's okay. It's okay.
No, it is like a little family.
Yeah,
but
he has അതിൻ്റെ ആയ ഒരു fun aspect ഉണ്ട്. You're sharing that moment with other people. Like, even though I've experienced other things, I can only express it to myself. At same level കിട്ടില്ല. Whereas when we talk about it, just like now, we are always remembering that all the 3 peaks, the way we went, the ups, the downs. So അത് എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ചെയ്യുക, അതിനെപ്പറ്റി ടോക്ക് അബൌട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത് തന്നെ ഒരു വലിയ കാര്യമാണ്. സോ if I wouldn't do this if it were on my own, but yeah, I think as a group, that's why
yeah,
I did it.
it just came to my mind. It just came across for random reason. Just in case you guys were wondering what the injury was, mine was a left lateral ligament sprain, and Cyril was a right lateral ligament sprain. Somehow we got one leg for each side, but like brother saying but yeah, no, like as you were saying, that it is like a family.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to sell Route 66 to you guys. I don't have any benefit of more people joining personally, except for more
Technically, we
experience.
don't want anyone
No.
else to join.
Indoor.
No, someone's like, I'm making $1 million. How do you
any merchandise
I'm going to be rich.
any merchandise
Yeah, but like slowly I'll be bringing out merch and that. No, of course not. It's completely a charitable cause. Everything we do is for charity. We don't get any benefit from this at all whatsoever, except for approaching a challenge that many people find difficult, and also be role models for the generations coming forward. That's one big thing. I know there's so many people out there which is going through stuff and they don't know how to tackle it. I'm not saying go climb mountains, but like each challenge that people climb is mountains that they're coming across themselves, and it isn't an easy journey at all whatsoever. And I'm not talking about real life mountains. I'm talking about emotional, mental, physical challenges that people are going through in life in general. It's not going to be easy, but you eventually get to the top, and life it's a beautiful view up there. You know what I mean? Don't jump off. That's all. It's a bit dark, real quick, but
and it's all linked, isn't it? Like if you overcome physical barriers, you'll overcome mental barriers.
Yeah.
And then mental leads on to spiritual, and if you overcome all these three, you'll get that financial barrier. And we were talking about this while we were walking, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I think somebody mentioned another podcast or somewhere how it's all linked. And the first, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling alone, the first thing is becoming physically active. Once you get out of your room, once you start walking, cycling, doing some, some sort of activity, you'll feel that mental side. You feel fresh. You feel, and then that possibly leads to that spiritual clarity. It doesn't have to be religious. It could be that thinking about the whole world and things like that.
Exploring.
Yeah, and then by doing all these three, and you'll become financially, because you can study, you can do assignments, not hand in last minute.
You start focusing on things which are relevant instead of irrelevant
exactly,
things.
Like, scrolling through Instagram and things like that. You just
I've said that one
before. You just don't have time because you're always busy with other stuff, and it's that that domino effect. And I think the initial thing is doing something like this.
Not to chase temporary pleasures, but chase long-term desires.
Yeah, but it's harder than it. It's easy.
It is said than done.
It's easy to say, but just knowing that just getting out of that room or that house, just going for a walk is. People say it now and then, but it might click on.
Yeah. The thing is, like you said, it's those physical challenges that people have to overcome first, and So talking about challenges, are you guys ready for the next one?
What's the next challenge then?
So, I mean,
you got too many, have you?
Yeah, there's plenty of challenges. I've got a list of different things that we could potentially do, but. Stay tuned, I guess, to find out what the next challenge is. But I think I'm going to wrap it up for this episode. Actually, so you didn't tell me what the 18-year-old you would...
Damn, thought you forgot about me. No, 18-year-old me. So 18-year-old me would have just thought... I'm pretty sure 18-year-old me, if he heard that 22-year-old me did this, he'd be like, yeah, I could do it. But it's also like... I'm pretty sure 18-year-old me wouldn't have been as prepared as 22-year-old me would have been, to actually do it. I don't think 18-year-old me could have done what I did here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is also that.
For sure.
But I don't think I'd be surprised though. Not to be vain or anything. It's like I haven't. Literally, it's bad. It's bad because I haven't. I haven't developed at all since 18. That's what you got to get from this, guys.
By the way, like I said from earlier, he was also one of those people which would assume it's a lot easier than it was.
True. I am one of those guys. So.
But on that note, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here today. And maybe we can come back sometime in the future when we go on our next challenge with... hopefully more people as well.
Maybe so.
If not, this has been a pleasure. So, thank you for joining us, guys. Okay. Thank you for joining us, guys, on episode 4 of The Emperor's Speech. I'm glad that you guys have joined me and Anson and Cyril today. It's been an absolute pleasure conversating to these guys about the challenges in general life and the challenge that we approached as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share to your family and friends this absolutely amazing podcast that I host, obviously. But thank you very much, guys. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Like chocolate bottle.